I dare you to shut out the world. I dare you to shut out all the distractions. I dare you to give up everything that is keeping you from your dream.
If you have a dream, don't just sit there. Get your ass up and make something happen. Sometimes you just have to move. Do something. Make a call. Reach out to someone. Google something. Learn something new. Write down what you need to do in order to make a better life for yourself. And be brave enough to do those things.
I dare you to take a stand today to say no more. I will no longer accept this for my life. I dare you to take action today. I dare you to write your goals down and get someone. I dare you to work on yourself.
Good morning, Lele. Good morning, One Reliable Sin. I know I'm sitting here all quiet, right? Good morning. Good morning. Oh, you always come on with such polite words, Lele. Good morning. I appreciate that. Good morning, Facebook. Good morning, YouTube. Good morning. Happy Monday, y'all. Oh, you know, these days are going by so quick, but I'm so excited because this is the week that leads up to my vacation, right? Now, I've been looking so forward to this vacation. I booked this vacation and it felt like this vacation was going to be so far away. That's what I thought. But it's already coming up Saturday. But the best part of this is that, you know how we have all the restrictions. Good morning, Rashmi on YouTube. You know how we had all the restrictions to travel. It was making my stomach hurt, y'all. Okay, I talk shit before other people join in. So different countries depending on where you were going. So, I know someone on my job is going to Dominican Republic. Good morning, McCliver. And all they needed was their vaccination card. They had to carry their physical card. They don't want it from your phone. They want your physical card. All right, that's for the Dominican Republic. That was as per the last update I got last week. Those that traveled to Guyana, they only needed a rapid test, right? And I was hating because Jamaica was like, no, you need to go on our website and fill out the Jamaican authorization form. Then you have to wait to get the approval from us. Then you have to print the shit out. Hey, Johnny Leon Hill, the form can't be filled out more than 7 days before your trip because the form expires 7 days. Okay. And so I went in to do my due diligence yesterday, filled out the Jamaican authorization form for me to travel to Jamaica. I got my approval and I was so fucking excited. I was like, oh my God, I done did something here. Good morning, Brooklyn Jake. I just said, I know someone that's in Guyana that only needed a rapid test. All right. And so guess what, y'all? While I was doing my authorization form and shit, something said, go into the Bahia Principal group, y'all, at Robin, and ask the questions. Which test did you take? Did you take a rapid test to get in Jamaica? Do I have to take this travel PCR test specifically to get into Jamaica? Well, baby. As of March 1st, Jamaica has lessened their COVID-19 protocols, right? And so now, morning, Johnny Leon Hill. So at this point, all I need is a rapid. You heard that, Brooklyn Jake? You heard that? All I need is a rapid test. And so RAW gets to save her $200 and her gas about to drive all the way to bumfuck Jersey City, even though it's right there. It's really not right there, with the traffic and shit, right? And so I'm going to take my little happy ass over to the urgent care center and get my little rapid test for free and take my little happy ass on to Jamaica. All right. And so I did all the research I could possibly do. All right. Yup. That's right, Brooklyn Jake. All right. I did all the research I could possibly do yesterday. I was living on my computer yesterday. I went on to JetBlue. I picked my seats. And let me tell y'all something. Y'all think motherfuckers are not traveling? JetBlue flight is kind of booked, crowded, y'all. There was only a few seats open. And so I picked the row where nobody else is sitting. And I picked the window seat. And I'm hoping that between today and Saturday, nobody else sits in my row. I have been lucky to get a whole row on a plane to myself. Now, the flight to Jamaica is 4 hours and 20 minutes, right? And so I don't really want to be squeezed up in a seat, you know. And my homegirl, I'm traveling with my homegirl, but her ass is all the way up front in row like 12 and shit. And my seat is row 25. The fuck? We're not even sitting near each other. Okay? All right? I'd rather her breathe on me than a stranger. We might have to switch seats. I don't know. We'll see what happens when we get there. All right. Good morning, Amparo. Good morning. So I just wanted to share a little bit of that joy with y'all. But guess what I'm listening to this morning? What the hell am I listening to? Let's see.
Sound like some superhero shit.
Hey, superhero shit.
Black superhero shit. Every block, every hood, every city, every ghetto.
Hey, that's the music. That's all y'all gonna get before IG and Facebook cuss my ass out. But get your coffee and your tea, guys. Get your coffee and your tea. You know, before I get into my topic, again, I bullshit a little bit. McCliver, you said the best flight to take is 2 a.m. flights. Well, yeah, that's okay for you, McCliver, because when you go to these countries, Jamaica or whatever, maybe you're staying with family, but I'm going to a resort. And you know what the resort policies are? After midnight, your hotel your hotel room is canceled, right? Now, I would imagine you could call, right, and let them know that your flight is late or whatever, and they could put a note on your account, right? But I'm not trying to fucking listen. I don't try to waste none of my days when I'm on vacation, okay? I'm not staying with family. I'm not staying with friends. I'm staying in a resort. Good morning, Pat. Good morning. I'm staying in a resort, so I try to get all my pennies. I leave at 6 a.m. in the fucking morning. I don't give a fuck. Check-in time could be 3 o'clock in the afternoon. If I get to the resort at 10, 11, 12 o'clock in the afternoon, they don't let me check in. Guess what the fuck happens? Anybody that travel with me know what the fuck I do. I'm traveling with my bathing suit on, okay? And some loose pants, okay? Because when I get there and they tell me, oh, you got to wait to check in, that's okay. Concierge, take my suitcase. I'm going to the bar. I'm going to have my bathing suit the fuck on. And I'm going to go chill at the bar. I don't waste no time on vacation. So 2 a.m. flight for me, 2 a.m. flight for me, I guess that's all right, because you would actually get into Jamaica at 6 in the morning, so you could fucking frolic around all morning long until you could check in. So that might not be that bad. Right, that's what I was, McCliver, I just went there. I just said the same thing. It'll be about 6, 7 o'clock. You're right. Right now, Jamaica, Rashmi reminded me that Jamaica is normally, our time gets thrown off during daylight savings time because Jamaica doesn't do daylight savings time. But currently, the time is the same in Jamaica. Hey, Veronica Madison. Good morning. Good morning. I wonder how that weather is in Guyana, though. Is it as nice as the weather is going to be in Jamaica? I wonder. But anyway, y'all, what the hell did y'all do for the weekend? And then I'm going to get into the topic because the topic today is very interesting, right? It's something that I thought about last week because I'm gonna tell y'all I was in a predicament and I'm gonna explain to y'all how this topic came to my mind. All right. But before we get into that, hey, Lady Amaris Collection, good morning. Before I get into that, what the hell did y'all do this weekend? Let me think. What did I do? I actually attended to my home this weekend. I did some cleaning. I did all my laundry. I packed my suitcase for Jamaica. I did. I just have a couple of items that I need to throw in my suitcase before I'm completely done. Okay, even my pocketbook that I'm carrying on the plane, I already have my travel case in there with my passport, all my paperwork, right? I just need to make sure I get my vaccination shit, printed once I go take my test and put that in my travel thing, and I'm ready to fucking go. I got a couple of things to do. What kind of preparation do y'all do before going on a trip? Today, I'm running to the bank and I'm going to get 75 $1 bills, right? Because tips, right? We want to be prepared with tips. Grand Rising, Cheryl Lee. We want to be prepared for trips while we're on this vacation, right? So $75 in ones, right? Because I got the tip. Listen, I got the tip because I like my drinks and I need them to keep flowing. So I'm really good to the wait staff, right? So I'm gonna get 75 ones. Then I'll probably get some loose fives, right? And some low bills, like some fives, some tens, and then the rest can be whatever it is, right? And so that is one thing I want to do. Make sure I have that. All right. And also when we travel, right, make sure you guys have your Lysol spray to spray the seats that you're sitting in, your sanitizer wipes to wipe your hand before you eat your food. Okay. And to wipe the seats and trays on the plane. All right. I know the numbers are going down, but still, babe, most of the shit in my suitcase that's taking up real estate is the sanitizing shit. I even got a small alcohol spray bottle that I travel with, 91%, y'all. Hey, Glamour 47, that I travel with, and I spray it inside the drawers. I do. The drawers, the fucking bed. I lift up the mattress. Yeah, I want to make sure there's no bed bug droppings on the fucking mattress. I look for all that shit. Hey, Future, good morning. I look for all that shit. So these are just some little tidbits of things that I do before I travel. And so if you're looking for some little travel tidbits, there you go. Don't say I didn't give them to you. Okay? That's it and that's all. But the best travel tidbit, I'm traveling with homegirl, and she is ready for this trip. She actually sent me a picture. Hey, Hearts of Fire, good morning. She sent me a picture of a door alarm. Anybody on here travel with a door alarm for their hotel? I think the shit is fly. I do. Anybody on here travel with a door alarm? That is a little alarm that goes onto your hotel room door. Okay. If anybody tries to come in your room while you're in your hotel room, the fucking alarm goes off. I was like, bitch, I would have never thought to get a door alarm for our hotel room. That was smart, right? Because you don't know what the fuck be going on at these resorts, right? You got women traveling alone and sleeping in the hotel rooms alone. We got to protect ourselves. I thought that shit was bomb. Anybody on here heard of that? Door alarm on your hotel room? Wow. Okay. One final little thing that happened so far on this trip that I'm going on. These are little things that you guys, I'm giving you shit to think about before you travel. Find a Facebook group that is titled the resort that you're going to stay at. Example, I was added to my girlfriend added me to a Facebook group for the Bahia Principal. That's the resort we're staying at. We're staying at the Bahia Principal, the luxury side, the adult only side. And it's so funny because when I told my brother I was staying at an adult resort, he was like, "Oh, it sounds like you trying to go there and be freaky." I said, "Why everybody think because you go to an adult resort, you trying to go and be freaky? Maybe I just don't want a fucking vacation with kids." Right? Like, y'all know I cuss, right? I cuss. I start drinking early in the fucking morning when I'm on vacation. I don't want nobody to be like, "Can you watch your mouth around my kids?" No, motherfucker, I paid for this vacation. I'm a fucking cuss. So I stay the fuck with the adults. That's it, and that's all. It don't have nothing to do with wanting to be freaky because, baby, I have been to family resorts and took my whole top off and had a whole thong on. Them kids don't bother me. They don't stop me from showing my titties and ass. They don't. Right? But, oftentimes it's my mouth that gets me in trouble and people start looking at me crazy because I'm cussing in front of their kids. So I just take my happy ass over to the motherfucking adult side. Okay? So my girlfriend added me to the Bahia Principal Luxury Resort group on Facebook. One of the benefits to that, y'all, so if y'all are traveling, find a Facebook group that stays at the resort that you're going to. One of the good things about that is people are constantly going and coming from that resort. Hey, Madison, good morning. And what they do is they're giving us tidbits of what's going on at the resort. Simple questions like, does the resort have enough bacon? Who gives a fuck about the bacon? Everybody. Everybody loves bacon, right? And people were answering, "Yep, they stay bacon ready. They always got a lot of bacon," right? I went on and asked the question yesterday about the rapid test versus the travel PCR, and people responded. People were like, "Nope." They start sending me pictures and sending me shit and sending me the websites and doing all kinds of things. They give you all kinds of tidbits about the resort that you're going to. One person mentioned that there was an alcohol shortage at the resort that we're going to. Guess what my girlfriend did? Emailed their asses. Okay, I got an email back because the room is in my name. I got an email back from the resort saying, "Mrs. White, please don't be concerned about the amount of alcohol we have at this resort. We will have enough alcohol to accommodate our guests." My girlfriend ain't fucking playing. She wanted to make sure we were still drinking. Shirley said, "No, but I have put the chair under the doorknob. Would love to have a door alarm." Right, Shirley? I never even thought to do that. I never thought, I have never stayed in a hotel room by myself, right? Period. That's one of the things that I told you guys on Coffee with Friends that I was going to put on my bucket list. Didn't I say that? That I was going to travel by myself. Now, this particular time, I almost stayed in the room by myself, but my girlfriend and I was like, "Why are we wasting money on 2 rooms?" And the size of the rooms, you got a whole bedroom, a whole living room, a whole sitting area, a balcony, big ass bathroom. I said, why we want to be in these big ass rooms by ourselves? Right? And so we decided to share the room, cut the cost. I was almost in the room by myself, but I have never traveled by myself. So Shirley, it's good to know that women out here are protecting themselves. So these are just tidbits and things to worry about before you go on vacation. Okay. Maybe you need a door alarm for your fucking door. Okay. Make sure you reading all the travel qualifications before you leave to head to that country that you're flying to, so that you don't spend any extra money getting any additional tests that you don't the fuck need. Right? And make sure you have money in your pocket for your return back. All right? Because they will set up a doctor's appointment for you to take a COVID test before you come back. All right. And you have to be able to pay for that. I don't know how much it costs. I think it's $75. Right. And so just make sure you have enough cash for that. All right. Veronica said, "I've traveled to Vegas 3 times alone. I actually liked it a lot." I have never. Vegas is a good place to travel by yourself because you're still really never alone. As soon as you hit the casino, you make friends. Right. And I love Vegas, y'all. I love Vegas. I love to gamble. I do. I take risk and chances. I love the slot machines, but I also love 3-card poker. I do sit at a card game, but I love it when I love it when a man gambles, right? And I can sit there and sip my drink, and every now and again I join in with him. That shit is sexy to me. I love Vegas. All right. So I can see you traveling there by yourself. But good morning, y'all. Good morning. What the fuck is the topic today? The topic today is cultural attire in the workplace. How are y'all feeling about that? Cultural attire in the workplace. Let me break this down for you. I'm going to tell you what made me think of this topic. My company, my organization has been going through constant churn for the last couple of years, right? Org changes left and right, left and right. So recently we've gotten some new bosses, right? And so not normally when new management comes in, right? They want you to jump on the video, right? I've been working from home 2+ years. Okay. I've been working from home. I don't know when I'm going back into the office, but I never turn my camera on, y'all, because 9 times out of 10, my hair is not done. It's either in twists, or I got a head wrap on, or I got an afro going on. Y'all see me in the morning, right? And so the other day, my boss set up a meeting with me, an impromptu meeting, right? And I wasn't prepared. The last couple of meetings, I was running around here, finding a dress shirt, combing my hair, trying to be presentable to turn the camera on, right? But this particular day, I was like, you know what? My head was wrapped, in my head wrap. It was wrapped. And I said to myself, self, I'm not taking this head wrap off, and I'm not running around here to throw no wig on my head. I'm not going to do it today. I'm not. As a matter of fact, I'm not even going to turn my camera on until he asked me to turn my camera on, right? And so I sat there and I said, why, Robin? Why is it you don't want to turn your camera on? And I said, because I don't know how he's going to look at me with this head wrap on my head. This is cultural attire, but is it acceptable in the professional environment? And I had to sit down and I had to think about that shit for a minute, right? Why am I questioning if my head wrap is professional and if it's proper attire for the workplace? Why is that a question? Why is that a question? I'm just going to hang that here for a minute, and then I'm going to go further into why I think it's a question. And then some of the things that I thought about, as I was trying to unpack this shit in my head. Good morning, Mercedes. Good morning. Hey, the General. Good morning. Future said, I've traveled alone several times for work. Oh, now that I've done. Does that count? I've traveled alone for work. I've had no choice. That I've done. Okay. I was scared to fly and stay alone in a hotel, but got used to it. Now that I did fly alone for work several times. I used to go to California a lot, okay, for work. But I was alone in the sense that I flew alone. I was in my hotel room alone, but I had the IT guys that was in the same hotel with me. So when we went out for drinks and shit like that, I kind of hung out with the IT guys. That's how I got to see Alcatraz, right? One of my coworkers and I, we stayed an extra couple of days and we went toward Alcatraz. It was beautiful. How do you say a prison is beautiful? But I mean, it was scary, but a good experience, if that makes sense. If that makes sense. All right. Veronica said, I think that if it's professional attire, why not? Jewish people wear their head attire. African Americans frowned upon for a head wrap. Well, I'm asking you guys, do you think head wraps should be acceptable and are acceptable in a professional environment, right? And that's the same thing I said, Veronica Madison. I said Jewish people wear yarmulkes, right? Muslim women wear hijabs, right? Sheiks wear turbans, right? So why is it that because I can't speak for you guys, right? But why was it that I sat and I questioned whether my head wrap was professional attire for the workplace and whether my management was going to accept me taking on a conference call with this head wrap on. But no one ever questions any other culture that wear head wraps that covers their head. They're not necessarily called head wraps. We said yarmulkes, we said turbans, we said hijabs, right? These are things that people wear all the time because of their religion, their beliefs, right? Their belief systems, right? But if I threw a head wrap on my head and went to work, I wonder, would that be acceptable in the workplace? Any managers on here that work in corporate America that want to speak on how they would feel if they saw more and more Black women with head wraps on at work? Cheryl Lee said, exactly. We don't always have to adapt to the Western European standards. We have to change the narrative. Yes. Change the fucking narrative. So that particular day, I kept that fucking head wrap on. I did. And I said, listen, baby, if he tell me to turn my camera on, he gonna get this colorful head wrap, right? This is a part of my culture and it's fashion, right? Why do they get to decide what we can display as a part of our culture versus other cultures, right? Mercedes says, I wear my head wraps. When I first did it, I got a lot of pushback from people, but I stood my ground. Wow, Mercedes, what kind of pushback did you get? Because you know, at my job, you know, every now and again, I think I want to be promoted, right? And I think about these things. How would I look sitting up on the senior management chain with a head wrap on? And you know what the fuck I said to myself? I said, I'd look just fine. I would look just motherfucking fine. Why would I look any different than the Sheik that's also on the executive team that has his sexy turbans on his head? Them shits be fly though. What would the difference be? Okay. Mercedes says, mainly people who look at me frown out loud. The white people would use microaggressive comments. Oh, wow, you are so colorful. Wow. That you're so colorful. The fuck? What? I don't know what that means. Is that a fucking compliment? You are so colorful. Who else wears head wraps in the office place? And who else thinks that it would be a problem if they wore a head wrap in their workplace? Veronica said, I think that if it's professional attire, why not? Oh, I read that. The general said, Tabitha Brown gives me life. Where did that come from? She gives me life too, though. But where did that come from? Did I miss something? The general said, my boss now has no issues with me wearing locks. First time in the banking history for me that this has been the case for me. Well, you know, as far as locks are concerned, we have evolved, right? You know, because years ago in corporate America, men couldn't have facial hair. They would shave their hair, just have like that pussy face. I call it pussy face because, you know, I feel like pussy should be bald. Right, so I call it the pussy face when they're smooth on the face. I like a man with hair on their face. That's my personal preference. That's my personal preference because I like to do this. You know, I like to run through, you know, scratch the beard and shit like that. I do. I hope my men like it, whoever I'm with at the time, because I will scratch your fucking beard. I will. So, you know, I never got a complaint. But I love a man with a beard. All right. I do. Okay. And so locks, for me, I feel like I've been seeing locks in the workplace for many, many years now. Locks, I think we are beyond locks. Women are wearing them, men are wearing them. We got facial hairs. And I work in the financial industry, right? Not on the retail side, the general. I work on the brokerage side, right? But, you know, we were just as strict at one point in corporate in the workplace about dreads, nappy afros and shit like that, right? But now, you know, in my company, honestly, that's why I question the head wraps, because in my company, and AG is not, I don't know if AG joined this call or not, but in my company, we see motherfuckers with pink hair, purple hair, all kind of shit, all kind of hairstyles, wearing all kind of clothes. My company is rated one of the best companies for equality and LGBTQ. Very diverse company. Very diverse company. Okay. But I very rarely see in all of that the pink hair, the yellow hair, the big clubbery shoes, if you come to whatever your fucking style is, that's how people come to work on my job. They are free. Okay. Then you got the people who dress up corporate wise, very diverse. But the one thing I do not see is head wraps. I don't see anybody. I don't give a fuck how crazy their hair is. I never see a head wrap. Why is that? Why is that? Hey, Trinity girl, why is that? Veronica Madison said, I think it should be acceptable. If my work performance is not being affected, don't ask about my diverse clothing. You think it should be acceptable, right? It's the one thing I don't see at my job, though. Cheryl Lee said, everyone has a country culture that they represent. They have always said that we as African Americans don't have a country, so they expect us to abide by their standards. And I don't want to. And you're right. I'm born here in America, but my culture is still aligned with my Black people, whatever the fuck culture I want to attach myself to, right? And so if I turn around and throw on a head wrap, that should not be frowned upon in the workplace. So what is Robin A.W. going to do to change the narrative, right? I'm going to start out small, y'all. Because listen, I got to represent who I am at all times. So I'm going to start out small. So I'm going to wrap my ass up and wrap my head up in a nice black head wrap, right? And jump on a conference call. Let them get used to seeing me that way occasionally, so that, when I bust out in something colorful head wrap on my head, maybe they won't be so shocked. I don't know. But you're right, Shirley. I think that was you who said, we have to change the narrative, right? Maybe they won't say anything. Maybe we just assume that they're not going to like the head wrap. Okay. Shirley says, some do accept it if they know you're an African native from the motherland. But if I'm not, what difference does it make? I got whole waist beads on my stomach, and I'm not from Africa. Okay. It's still a part of my country. It's still a part of my culture. A perfect example. You have people that are from the Caribbean, right? Okay. Their parents come here to America, right? And they have their children here, born here, who are now born into American citizenship, right? But their parents make sure that they're still raised within their culture. It don't matter whether they're born here or not. We can attach ourselves to whatever culture we want. It's our choice, no? Mercedes says, I was asked if I was religious when I had my head wrap on. What was your answer? I want to know, what the fuck did you say? What was your answer? Hearts of Fire said, I wish my boss would. So Hearts of Fire, you show up to work with a head wrap, your boss is not going to say anything? I have never seen anybody at my job with a head wrap, but I have Googled pictures of professional women with head wraps on, and they look gorgeous. Do we have to be religious to wear a head wrap to work? Can it just be a part of our culture, part of our fashion style, without it being frowned upon in a professional environment? How many adjustments do we make in our professional environment where we can't show the culture that we're attached to, right? A lot of people, the first thing when I met AG Photography, aka AG Kitchen 737, the first time at work, how I talk to you guys is how I speak at work. There are some people who speak one way when they're home around their friends, and then when they get to work, they change and they put on that corporate voice. No, that's not me. I speak the same way here as I do at work, right? And one of the things when I met AG, I never forget he said to me, I never forget he said to me, he was like, some people, would think that you're ghetto. And I said, oh, really? They would think I'm ghetto because why? Because I'm loud. He didn't say he thought I was ghetto, right? But because when I come into the office, I'm like this, right? I speak the same way, right? I move the same way. I look the same way, except for the head wraps. I didn't go that far yet, right? So, he was like, some people might think, and I was like, and guess what the fuck I say? I don't give a fuck. As long as I'm coming in here doing the job that I said I was going to do, as long as I'm performing up to par what my fucking resume said, what difference does it make whether people think I'm ghetto or not? I didn't give a shit. Why? Based on how I look, based on how I speak, right? Why is the Black American always judged in the workplace? If we hear a white man that's loud at the end of the office, do we say, oh, he's ghetto? Do we ever say, oh, that white man down there that's talking loud is ghetto? Do we ever say that? I never heard that. Who has heard that? Cheryl Lee said they benefit financially by us following their designer fashion attire. It's fact that we spend more than any other race. Yeah. Right. But yet we deny ourselves in how we dress when we go into the office because we are still trying to fit in. Right. And we save our culture for the weekend. Why? Why are we saving our culture for the weekend? People used to ask me all the time, oh my God, you go to work with all these different hairstyles. Yep. What the fuck does that have to do with my qualifications? Yeah, one day I come in here, I got long ass locks. The next day I come in here, I got big old afro here. The next day I come in here, I got big old curly here. Another day I come in here, I might the fuck be bald headed. I don't the fuck know. But what does that got to do with what's on my resume? Mercedes says you sound intelligent, like you read books for fun, except for the cussing. You sound like a truck driver then. Oh wait, that's me. Right, exactly. I mean, yeah, the cussing is bad. I know. I do try to curb my cussing at work. Now, I don't sit in front of my boss and drop the F-bombs. Now, that I do not do, right? Now, I do cuss when I'm talking to my coworkers and shit, but when I'm speaking, I know my audience. But still, my delivery and everything is still the same. I just do it without cussing. But y'all get the point, right? And people that work with me, that have worked with me. No, listen, Gary, there's a gentleman, Gary Smith, that follows me. We've worked together years ago at a prior brokerage firm. And every now and again, he'll jump on my post and he'll let you know I was a pit bull at work. I still am. I still am. One thing he knows me by is you don't take no shit because I come across just like this at work. Mercedes says, what annoys me when Black people are referred to as urban. Yeah, what does that mean? Why does that annoy you, Mercedes? I understand why it might. I just need a little bit more detail as to why that annoys you when Black people are referred to as urban. Right, because how do you know I'm fucking urban? Okay, How do you know? Trini said, well, in today's climate, I believe anyone that brings this up is in for a whole lot of trouble. Wearing one this week will let you know. Yes, Trini, please post pics because I know that shit gonna be cute. Let me see who's coming on. Okay, Attire is coming on camera. Listen. I need pictures of that, Trini, okay? Because I love it. When are we going to change the narrative? Okay, and stop denying who we are, even in the workplace. Good morning, Hearts of Fire.
Good morning, everybody.
Yes, good morning.
So, I wanted to address a couple of things you said.
Yes.
So let me go back to the head back. You guys know I'm in traffic. That's why I really can't type. So I apologize for always jumping on. So when I was in 6th grade in 145 in the Bronx, back in that time, head wraps were popular too. Then. Mm-hmm. So my sister wrapped my head. I hadn't had my head done, and I was a nappy head little kid. And so I went in, and we had assembly that day. And the teacher that was in the assembly kept saying that I needed to take my head wrap off for the Pledge of Allegiance, and I would not do it. Do you know that they took me to the office and really hurt my feelings because I refused to take it off? But I got in trouble for it, So it's something that, I really didn't remember until you brought that up. So, it did hurt my feelings, though. As far as head wraps in my company, I posted something recently, so probably people know where I work at now. But anyway, they don't bother you about that. I had one coworker when I first started working there. Her name was Aisha. And she wore them all the time. And big earrings. She was what they call a telly tech on the part unit. She always wore a head wrap. Nobody ever said anything or ever bothered her. The only time I did hear, and I wear all different kinds of wigs and whatever. People have tattoos, the nurses. There's a colorful array of people at my job. However, the only time I did hear something about the beards was when COVID started. And I'm going to tell you why. This was for everybody because the masks weren't fitting properly, the 95s, when they had to deal with the COVID patients on the COVID unit. So they didn't want the employees coming in there. It wasn't because it was a cultural thing. It was because they weren't fitted properly. And when they have COVID units, and when you're working on the COVID unit, you have to make sure that no air is getting into your mask. We're too. And so because of that, they would ask them to shave their beard. And they came to the union and they were like, no, they're not shaving their beards. This is something that they want to keep. We know that wearing a beard, is a man's thing now. It has its own vibes. Dreads were never a problem because they always have the big DuPont things to cover them. So now what they do is that they have a special bouffant thing to cover their beards also when they work on those units. They let them go on it. COVID is not as bad as it used to be, but that was the only one time that there was an issue. There was another time where when I used to wear long braids. I wear wigs now because I have a formal traction alopecia, so I can be who I want to be. So different days, different colors, whatever. So I was going I had long braids down my back, big, thick braids. And I think I was going for the interview at this hospital. And somebody said to me, you have to take those braids out. And I was like, why? I just got them done. Mm-hmm. And they were like, because it's not professional. This is a white man's world. And it confused me. Like, what the fuck you talking about? This is a white man's world. This is my shit here. Okay. My hair is braided, whatever. Fuck these white men. This is what. I took them out. So the thing was, get the job first. Yeah. Get the job first. Secure your position. Secure your money, and then, address the issues. So for my job, we're union. We fight all of those little things. So I'm getting off of here. So I wanted to address those. You guys have a good day.
Thank you. Thank you, Hearts of Fire. All right. See, we have real life stories where people go through things at work, right? You know, the beard thing at the hospital, I can understand that to a point, because if the mask is not covering your face, right, then I don't know if I would expect them to shave their beard completely off, but maybe trim it down to a low state, because like for me, my dad never shaved his beard. I was pissed when they shaved his beard when they buried him, but I have never seen my dad without a beard. Some people, listen, trim that shit down, but you don't have to necessarily take it completely off. That was interesting. Hearts of Fire. Thanks for sharing that. Sarah Lee said, once again, we adapting to who they are and their standards. Do the etymology behind the so-called cuss words. Didn't they say people had cuss are smart? Didn't they say that shit? Hey, Chef You, didn't they say that? Hey, Jello, good morning. Hey, Mother, good morning. Wait, I can't wait for Trinity to wear that head wrap. Trinity also said they wanted me back in the office. Then you get all of me: headwear, cultural earrings, etc. Ooh, and you pulling out the earrings. Wait a minute, baby. You're going to have the head wrap on and the earrings. Listen, I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad at you at all, right? When are we going to change the narrative, right? And what's going to happen? They can't call you in the office and say, you can't wear that, right? But what they can do is make excuses for why you're not going to get that promotion, right? It'll be some other stupid excuse. They didn't have the budget, or job roles are changing. It'll always be something. When they don't want you to have a job based on what you look like, they'll figure out a way to push you to the side, right? And I want to say, I've been blessed, because beyond the head wraps, I walk in my cultural space when I'm in the office. Okay, I walk in my cultural space when I'm in the office. All right, so I'm gonna bust out a head wrap, because what the fuck? We got to change the narrative here, right? We got to. Why do we care about the shock? I don't know, Trini, if it's the shock, because I don't give a fuck about any shocks. I shock people all the time. Okay, I don't give a shit about no damn shock, right? I just care how it's going to affect my paycheck, because these motherfuckers got a way of getting you, putting you on a layoff list or some shit just because, right? That's the sneaky shit with corporate America, right? Hey, Soulful BBW. Kenny said, if you want to wear a colorful one on the conference call, wear it. Girl, that's where I was at, though. But Trini, I did play through the whole scenario in my head for a while. That's what made me bring the topic to the table, because I said, whoa, wait a minute. Why am I going through this whole shenanigan in my head about this fucking shit that's on my head, right? Like, I'm literally on the conference call and I'm like, baby, as soon as he say turn your camera on, he getting bed. I had the hoops on and the colorful head wrap. He'd have been like, oh shit. Okay. Now, I did do that one time. One time during in the hype of COVID. Okay, in the hype of COVID, one time they had us turn our cameras on, and it was too late. I had my orange head wrap on, and I was sitting in my dining room with my African artwork behind me and the fireplace on, and I turned my camera on, and they had a whole cultural experience with me that day. It was an all hands meeting, but it was like hundreds of people on the call. And I was like, please, God, let them keep scrolling by my picture, not paying my little ass no mind. So, that was it. And that was all. Trini said, we have to stop caring about being frowned upon. Let me repeat. We have to stop caring about being frowned upon. Yes. Okay. Mercedes says, as I get older, I am more confident with my individuality. However, I do explain to my students that they need to be who they are, but also not distracting when the event or meeting is not about them. Great point, Mercedes. Not to be distracting. Great point. Okay. And we can dive into that piece a little bit further, whenever, right? Example, some of the events call for conservative, right? Those events may not fit with bright colors, but I also tell them if they choose to make the event about them, be interesting. Dang it, right. Yeah. Right? I mean, it's no different than knowing your audience, right, Mercedes? Right? You got to dress appropriate for the meeting or the event that you're going to. I agree with that. Trini said maybe we should say the white man is ghetto. What? Well, because I'm just saying. Who ever heard somebody say the white man down the hall, down the hall by that office that's talking loud is ghetto? They never say it. They never call them ghetto. But I was loud in the office and someone said I was ghetto. They did. They said it. And guess what? But RAW don't give a fuck when they say I'm ghetto at work. Because you know why? I get my shit done. They can call me what they want, but I get my shit done. So I have been called ghetto at work before. Absolutely. Based on how I look, based on the tone of my voice, based on some of the things that I say on conference calls and shit like that. They have called me ghetto. I have never once heard somebody call a white man or a white woman at my job ghetto. Never. Sarah Lee said that's why we have to work on having our own or bringing to the table something they need us for and can't get it better nowhere else. Then they adapt to us. Right? Adapt, not steal from us, but adapt to us. Difference. Mercedes says, I call loud white men ghetto. Laugh out loud. The white woman all talk and whispers at work. Laugh out loud. They play the delicate damsels. Oh, you do? I never heard nobody at my job call no white person ghetto. But as soon as a black person come in there looking a little bit cultural, they be like, she ghetto. Or sounding a little bit crazy, they be like, she or he is ghetto. Right, Mercedes? Yes, Mercedes. Mercedes said, I just sound loud since other black folks at work are mute. Thank you. I'm with you, sister. Right? I'm not the quiet one. I'm the one that's like, excuse me, can you repeat that? Because I might have a problem with that. I am one of the most honest workers you're going to get. If I have a problem with something, I don't care if your title is project manager, senior director, VP. If I have a problem with something, I'll excuse me, can you repeat that? Because I don't understand that. So I'm with you, Mercedes. I'm loud for all of us. Okay. The general said, I don't know if it bothers y'all, but I hate when white people say something is ghetto. Because who they talking about? I have never heard white people call each other ghetto. And I have never heard anybody at work call a white person ghetto. I'm sticking to that. Hey, Lulu Bells. Soulful said, I had to ease up on the way I spoke because many didn't understand my West Indian dialect. I used to switch it up, but your voice is so sexy. I love that shit. You know that St. Croix? That St. Croix twang? It's cute. On her. Right? Future said they call that code switching when you change your ways to be acceptable at work or in mixed company. Oh, I don't code switch. It's too confusing for me. I can't. It stresses me. I can't code switch. I'm telling you, anybody that has worked with me can vouch. I do not code switch at all. Lulu Bells, thank you. Thank you. Mercedes, there it is. Lulu Bell said, urban is the new way to call black people ghetto. So when you hear somebody go, oh, they urban, they try to say you ghetto. The fuck? Thank you, Lulu Bells. Trini said, I'm a fucking genius. I know that shit is right. Mercedes says, when white folk insult each other, they use trash. When they talk about us, they say ghetto. True. Outside of work. They might say that, but I still ain't never heard them call each other trash at work either. But I certainly got called ghetto. Hey, Yoga Girl side. Trini said, yeah, maybe it's 60. I just don't give a rat's ass, period. You know, the older we get, Trini, the older we get. The older we get. All right. Trini said, we can be distracting to them just being Black. Miss me with all of that. Now, I'm gonna fucking drink my coffee. Now, that's a word. Okay, that's a whole motherfucking word. That's a beginning to an end. That's like a whole fucking book. Just that statement. We can be distracting to them just being Black. Miss me with all that. The fuck? Words from Trini. Yoga Girl Side said, y'all know what I think? They gonna get this Africa every day. And yes, not to be distracting, believe it or not, I try to fly under the radar. They don't never work. That don't never work. No, you're not gonna fly under the radar because we are so noticeable as a people. We are. We're so noticeable as a people. We are such interesting culture that we cannot, never not be distracting. They are united at work, even though they are not union. Facts, Mercedes, united at work. Say that shit. We're not, but they are. They're united at work. I know, Mercedes, right? We all felt that shit from Trini. Soulful said, as long as your work is on point, it shouldn't even matter. But to some companies, it do. There's a lot of people that didn't get their due in corporate America because of what they look like, what color they are, right? The general said, I'm the utility man when it comes to being able to do everything at my banking job. My job knows I'm an important piece. Yoga Girl Side said, ghetto means surviving under extreme conditions while settling the stage for culture to be copied. What would the world do without ghetto Black people? What would they do? What would they do? Not me, Trini. Code Switch. Who got time for that? Listen, I can't listen. I'm the family member that the cousins kick under the table. See, I am even Steven across the board. Even Steven across the board. I am the family member that gets kicked under the table. Okay, I am the family member that you have to calm down because I jump off a go real quick. You have to be like, first it starts with my look, like, wait a minute, what just happened? Like, I start looking around like, hold up, do I need to be prepared for something here? Okay? And most times I'm just ready to cut somebody the fuck out. I don't even be thinking about fighting. The fuck? Yoga Girl Side said, just calling trailer park. I don't like to call people names, but I will if I have to. I know that shit is right. They say inappropriate. Right, not ghetto. They don't say, oh, she's ghetto. They'll say, oh, that person acts inappropriate, but when it's a Black person, it's ghetto. Yoga Girl Side said, being Black and minding your business is a distraction because Pure not caring to be their friend. Because Pure is not caring to be their friend. You mean the Grays? They find that odd. They want us all to be so into them. Trini said, I had an HR person tell me to fix my face. She no longer has a job. Miss me with all that shit. Fix your face. Fix your face. See, I can't. You got my ass itching. Fix your face. Trini said they can keep all their microaggression to themselves or they get what they get. Mercedes said, when people want to look busy at work, they distract others with gossip about how someone looks. When people come to me with that noise, I always comment, I love how so-and-so looks. What a breath of fresh air in a stagnant world. And I need to get back to work. Oh my. Shade. Okay, that is just pure shade, Mercedes, but I love it. I love it, y'all. It is 8:59. And it's a fucking Monday. How about that? This topic, I'm telling you, topics come up because of real life situations that happen, either with other people that I see or situations that happen with me. Most times it's situations that happen with me. And this is one thing that happened to me last week where I was sitting here, right here in this seat, because this is my Coffee with Friends seat. This is my work seat. My laptop for work sits on this desk and everything. I do everything in this seat. Okay. And so when I had that meeting and when I saw that I was going to have to turn that camera on, I was ready, baby. I was ready to take the heat for that colorful head wrap. And then I said to myself, why did I even go through that? Why did I even question if this is appropriate or not? Why am I questioning myself? If I believe that this is my culture and my fashion, and I believe that it's not unprofessional, then I need to wear it with confidence. Like Cheryl said, change the fucking narrative, y'all. Right? Because you know what? One day we're going to look up. You know how Kim Kardashians and these motherfuckers put the cornrows in and all of a sudden it became runway hairstyles, the braids and shit like that became runway hairstyles because the white people introduced it. Black folks been wearing cornrows since what? Before y'all stole our asses from the motherland, right? But they became popular in fashion because white people was rocking them. Right? One day I'm gonna look up from work and I'm gonna see a white person with a head wrap on at work and I'm gonna be the fuck pissed. Because I'm gonna be like, okay, the fuck, nobody's saying nothing to her. And I've been scared all this time. Change the narrative. Right? And so I said to myself, I am no longer going to question whether I could wear a head wrap at work, especially after I sat down and I said, the Jewish people, the Sheiks, the Muslims, they do it. It's their religion. I don't care. It is none of their business whether it's a religious belief or it's just my culture. Right? And so I wanted to bring this topic here because it was something that I realized that I myself struggled with, and I couldn't understand why I was struggling. And then I had to say, snap the fuck out of it. Be who you are. That's it, and that's all. Okay, think about it. Corporate America years ago, we used to go to work and we used to wear suits and ties, right? The men. The women used to wear suits, right? Dress up every day, go to work. I used to be dressed up every day to go to work. Times have changed. We are now dressing down. Some people don't even fucking go in the office. A lot of us are doing conference calls on the phone. Why are we busting our necks to still fit in what they deemed as norm? Makes no sense, right? At all. Okay. Mercedes says, I'm going to borrow Trini's tagline, miss me with all that shit. Yes, the tagline that's going to be catchy, a catchy phrase for everybody to use at work, miss me with all that shit. Laugh out loud. And Self said, "Bat girl, you are rocking that shit." Laugh out loud. And Self said, oh my God, I don't know. I'm confused. Girl, I wore head wraps, braids, cornrows, extensions, afro, all that. Wow. Good for you. As you should. And with that, y'all, this was Coffee with Friends, y'all. I really appreciate it. This week, I'm going to try to go easy this week. You know what I mean? Because I'm ramping up for my trip that's coming on Saturday. I can't wait, y'all. I can't wait to get the fuck out of here. All right. To get some sun, some relaxation. Right. Of course, I will try to share my experience with y'all while I'm away to the best of my ability, because that's how I do. But I appreciate you guys jumping on Coffee with Friends, y'all. Listen, I can't ask for any more support than what y'all give. I mean, I could. But you guys support me through and through. You jump on all my platforms. You engage on my show. You jump on. Listen, anybody can jump on the camera, y'all. anytime you want. Jump on the camera, chime in on the conversation. This is not just for me to be the only talking head. This platform is for us to love up on one another. Talk about real issues, real things that we think about, real experiences that we go through on a daily basis, right? Stop being ashamed of the things that you go through in your life. We are human beings. We are, right? And we're going to go through some things, right? And as I get older, I realize that I am not ashamed of the things that I go through. The things that I used to be ashamed of, I'm no longer ashamed, right? Listen, some of the shit I bring to the platform and I'm like, help me, y'all. And then I find out some other motherfuckers got the same shit that they need help with. Guess what? We human, right? Be light on yourselves, all right? No judgment. Live life to the best of your ability. Constantly try to grow. Constantly try to do better. Keep the lines of communication open in your relationships. Love up on one another. That's what Coffee with Friends is about, right? And so with that, y'all, please go to the link in my bio and make sure you will follow me across all of my platforms: YouTube, IG, Facebook, TikTok. All right. Make sure raw2thebone.com is there if you want a t-shirt, a hoodie, or anything like that. Get yourself something, but free support is beautiful. All right. Now, I know that I've been talking about Coffee with Friends After Dark with my trip coming up, and I had some other things that I was dealing with this month that distracted me. But I promise you, Coffee with Friends After Dark will be booting up soon. I got some of my extra stuff to set the mood, lighting, and all that stuff. So I am prepared to boot up Coffee with Friends After Dark. But I need to get this Jamaica trip out of my system. Okay. Let me go get my relaxation, my sexy ass tan and shit, and come back fresh, all right, to do Coffee with Friends at 8 a.m. and then Coffee with Friends After Dark at 8 p.m. Right now, that Coffee with Friends After Dark is probably only going to be like once or twice a month on a Thursday at 8 p.m., y'all. All right, so I hope that I get the audience to participate in that shit. It's grown folk shit, okay? If you shy, don't come. If you shy, don't come. All right. But in order to enjoy Coffee with Friends After Dark, you got to follow me on YouTube. That's it and that's all. All right. So make sure you go into the link in my bio. My YouTube link is there. Y'all, I appreciate you joining Coffee with Friends. I truly do. And with that, gone for now, but never gone forever. I'm the fuck out.
You stand dazed and amazed. I bust a little rhyme with authority, superiority. Here I am. R-A-W, a terrorist, here to bring trouble to phony MCs. I move on and seize, I just conquer and solve another rapper with ease. Cause I'm at my apex and others are below, nothing but a
Months. I dare you to shut out the world. I dare you to shut out all the distractions. I dare you to give up everything that